Yeah, it's been good. Guys have been training well. We run the program out here and in Bashundhara and over in Dhanmondi. So the players have been training well. We've had a consolidated block of work over the last couple of months. Getting stuck into the technical work, and I'm hoping that there will be a clear break in the weather now because we've had a lot of rain, as you all know. So really good for us to be outdoors. Nice for the guys to get outdoors. And be able to take some of their skill work and put it into game plans. Well, yeah, I would have shared with you guys. Firstly, on this side, we're very blessed in having fantastic facilities, truly world-class facilities. So it's a great environment to train in. We can really build high levels of skill with the quality of the facilities. There's the academy over in Dhanmondi as well, so we've got a really big group of players over there. So we've just been building, since the middle of June, we've just been building week by week on developing higher skill levels. And over the last few weeks, we're moving those skills into game plans for the players, particularly the senior professional players who are getting ready to go out and start the season. So they're not as blessed on the other side to have the facilities here, but the facilities are fine for the work which we're doing. That will be a longer term project in terms of building out the physical capacity of the program over there. I don't mean the players, but building out the physical structure. So no, but great, really good so far. Well, look, it's less philosophy, it's more implementing proven practice and really focusing on applying a really good, strong knowledge base in terms of player production, which is grounded in science. So it's not a case of, each director or head coach comes and brings a different philosophy. There's a very specific way of developing players. So we're busy with that. I would have worked with that over a long time, and I know that it'll develop really world-class players. But it's a long-term program. It's not, you don't work for a couple of weeks or a couple of months and turn out ready-made players. And the program is, as you will have seen when you've been down and you've been filming, the program starts with the younger players in primary school. So it's a long-term journey. When you meet the player when they're younger and you develop them up and through professional cricket. Yeah, I've really enjoyed working with the coaches. We've been doing coach development for the last couple of months. And so we've had a couple of good months of solid learning, showing the coaches again scientifically how does the program work, what's it based on, how do we deliver it. So now the coaches are getting busy operationalising that for themselves, so they can internalise their own learning. It's one thing getting the knowledge, then you've got to go out and work with it. Well, Bashundhara here at Sports City, this is just unparalleled, really. I am on record as saying that. I don't think I've ever come across a facility where you've got such high quality dedicated cricket facility. And what's different about Sports City rather than a first class ground, international ground, is you've got the physical space. On a normal cricket setup, you don't have the space to build such a big academy because within a city there just isn't normally that space. We've got the field on this side with the stadium on this side, and there's another stadium being built on the other side. We've got big banks of turf nets. So yeah, it is. It's an incredible facility. So it's a long-term process. There is the physical and conditioning component of the training, and so then we meet the player where they're at in their stage of physical development. Obviously, when you're working with kids, you just want them moving. You want them having as much fun as possible. So when they come down, they fall in love with the game. It mustn't all just be technical coaching. You want them playing. So a lot of movement, building out their coordination, and just all the normal stuff for kids. And then as they hit puberty, puberty becomes a really important period for the young players, for the males and the females, because now the body's really starting to develop. So we've got to be very careful through that period, and how we look after the athletes. But again, Gold's Gym is absolutely unbelievable. So so the facility, I don't think there's any first class setup who's got its own Gold's Gym. So we've got everything in terms of that. So, and we've got the sports science, we've got the conditioning coaches, we've got medical. So yeah, we're really well resourced. think of them as challenges per se. You know, if you're going to develop really elite players, and it's not necessarily just about the elite, let me make that clear. You know, when we've got the younger kids who are coming down here, it's really about falling in love with cricket and having fun. And, you know, the best way to have fun is to play well, you know. You want to score runs, you want to take wickets, you want to be good in the field, you want to be a good wicket keeper, and you want to be enjoying it. So it's developing that love of the game, and then as the players get better, it's making sure that every individual player's game is developing. And a little bit like, you know, when you go to school or university, is, you know, there is a syllabus, there's a curriculum. So the players are coming through a tried and tested program of player development, you know, and you know, I would have developed it over a long period of time, and it's produced many fine players. But I mean, if the players don't come out, if the players who come to the academy, the young boys and girls, you know, it's not necessarily about playing for Bangladesh, it's about developing your love of the game. You may just end up playing club cricket. You know, those who are very gifted will come and play professional cricket, BPL, they'll play for Bangladesh, etc. And they'll ideally play to the limit of their ability. We've definitely got some exceptional talent. I don't like to weigh down young players with that expectation because it becomes very heavy, you know, and then they get, you know, the press write them up as the next Saqib and the next Mushi, and, you know, they don't need that on them now. You know, their ability to be able to go out and produce, and they will play under their own name. But there is some really exciting talent, and I think it bodes well for Bangladesh cricket. Oh, you're putting me on the spot here. I've got many favourites. Yeah, but I think a player that really stands out for me because of his love and his character and his heart for just playing for Bangladesh is Mushi, really. You know, the other players are fantastic, but, you know, he was the captain that I worked with, and I just loved the way that you know, he's 100%. There's nothing less than that. Which isn't to say that the others weren't 100%, but you know, he played with his heart on his shirt, put it that way, you know. So, well, look, I'd like to think that my relationship would be ongoing with Bashundhara. You know, I've spent a couple of months now. You know, my role, Rusho is the head coach, and it's really important that he runs. You know, is that he's doing that. Is that he's busy now with the coaching, getting busy with the players. I've shared with the coaches a clear methodology around player production, the development process. So it's very important for the coaches to get busy with that now. So do you develop world-class players in 3 months? Definitely not. You know, I know from my experience, it's you produce really high-quality players over a couple of years. Well, I was really excited about the concept here, you know, at Bashundhara. I think when you have countries like Bangladesh, where you have such a passionate cricket base, you know, and it's so central to the identity of the country, that's quite unique in the world. And, you know, an opportunity to be able to support and give back to that. You guys all know that my first stint out here was short-lived. So, you know, is to be able to come out and support the coaches, help them to deliver a high quality program and develop really good players. So that was a key motivation.